This video, we talk about Lien, which is a security interest. So now I will have three examples here. Vendors Lien, purchasers Lien, and builders Lien. So first, let's just define what is Lien. Like I say, it's a form of security interest over a real estate to secure, number one, payment of money. Vendors Lien. Vendors Lien will be the vendor saying that, okay, I have already contracted with you this price, please pay me this price. Now, and of course, builders Lien. Now, builders Lien will be basically the builder has already invested so much of the construction cost and then is owing by the party in possession of the finished product. Performance of an obligation, so usually will be the buyers, the buyers going to claim either the deal cannot go through, so the buyer will claim back the deposit, or the buyer say, please perform the contract with me, and returning of deposit in the case where the contract is rescinded. So later I will explain the detail. Now, Lien has the following characteristics. Number one, it is a land right. It is proprietary in nature. It's claiming an interest over the land or claiming the purchase money. So it is equitable in nature because having that right does not make you the owner. And you can only protect your interest by using a caveat. So now, I have short videos on equitable interest and caveats and then proprietary interest and all that. Please go and find them in the same folder. They are each lasting about 10 minutes or so. So we'll look at actually from different angles, look at all the land rights from different angles. So that will really help you in your exam. Now let's start with vendors Lien. Now vendors Lien secures for the property seller the right to the full purchase price. Now, usually is after they have entered into the contract with the buyer, and then, like for example, in bad times, sometimes the buyers will just back out. So then the seller will have this position to actually sue. Now, the lien continues until actual payment or performance by the purchaser. So it is unwritten. This is an unwritten rule. That's why it's equitable in nature. Equitable in nature. Now, let me use new home purchase as an example to explain the developer's right. Now, after the buyer failed to pay the progress payment, so usually the buyer will say that, hey, the contract say that you can take back the condo. Now, the developer won't want to take back the condo because this will happen usually during a crisis or a recession, like what we saw in 1998 when the Ardmore Park buyer, because of the political situation, the political chaos after Suharto fell in Indonesia, so they went into hiding. So the developer actually asked them to pay, asked them to pay up. Now, so what happened? Specific performance. Now you know what specific performance are. That means the contracting party in breach, the court order them to perform the contract. Now, so what happened? They cannot perform the contract because maybe they are bankrupt, or maybe the bank has said that sorry, now because of the crisis, now we cannot lend you the money and all that. So if there is a situation, then the buyers will have to assign the sale contract and take losses. So they cannot go back to the seller and say that, hey, now you see the situation has changed already. Please either give me a discount or take back the property. No, because why? Because the seller has all the right to be paid the full price. So usually, then they will ask the buyer, I know, that is not my problem. Please sell your contract. Okay, and then get an assignee to come in to continue to fulfill the progress payment. Purchaser's lien will be when the buyer claim the following: return the deposit. Now, those in my class will remember I have quoted two different stories, or because the deal cannot go through, or because of unsatisfactory reply from LTA. So far, the two examples are all because of road line interpretation, because LTA needs the land. So then what happened is that then the deal cannot go through, and then the seller refused to return the deposit. So the buyer, in the later case, 2007, I think. So in the later case, the buyer no choice but to exercise the option and then pay 4% and then sue. Now, actually, the 1990 case, the High Court judge already say, no need to do that. Just sue can already. Because why? Because you have the purchaser's lien. Now, the contract was rescinded because of unsatisfactory reply. So you can just ask for the return of the deposit, but the seller refused to return the money. So then went to court. Still the court say, can you please return the deposit to the buyer? So now, what does the buyer have? What is the right? That position is called purchaser's lien. Now, so sometimes the contract cannot be performed already because of the unsatisfactory reply, or because they fail to get certain approval, maybe by JTC, maybe by BCA, any of those government departments say that, sorry, assignment is not approved and all that. So as a result, then the contract is rescinded. So sometimes this kind of land assignment, industrial land assignment, involve millions of dollars of deposit. So they end up suing each other. So, but then the buyer or the potential lessee, they have this position called purchaser's lien. So what happened is that they will quickly go and lodge a caveat so that the seller cannot grant another option until the purchaser's claim has been satisfied, until they get back all their option fee. So now the next one will be builder's lien. Builder's lien over construction costs owed to the construction company. So construction companies, we call them builders. Construction company are entitled to, of course, full payment of the construction costs. And so what happened is that the building owner went bankrupt, for example. So then the construction company got to quickly protect their interests by lodging a caveat in the interim. Okay, let me just give you another example. Now that will be, this one is Springleaf Tower. Now construction company involved in this dispute is a public listed company. So now lodge a caveat against the mortgagee in possession of Springleaf Towers. This one happened during the very last Asian currency crisis in 1998. So mortgagee, now the judgment at the end of the day, they fought this case for many years. So the court judgment was mortgagee, means the bank, must grant a lease in the building to the builder. So now this is very interesting for those who are just starting to study this topic. Grant a lease. What's the meaning of grant a lease? Now this is a 99-year leasehold office space. So grant a lease to the construction company, in effect, is one whole floor. One whole floor, I think 80 over years lease, grant to the construction company who was owed, I think 11 millions in the construction cost. So now, granting of the lease over one whole floor of office space, the value is equivalent to the construction cost owed by the insolvent developer. Now, so then why sue the bank? Then why lodge caveat against the bank? Now, because why? The developer already went bankrupt. So the mortgagee was in possession of the title. So therefore, the builder's lien must be lodged against the party in possession of the title. So now this whole court judgment is called equitable remedy. Now, so I will urge you to go and watch all the series of videos. There are right now, I think 10. I will record more. Now, so they are each lasting about 10 minutes to help you clarify. So you can actually, for this one, you can watch caveat versus registration, equitable interest. They are more closely related to liens. So I hope you benefit from it.